And I'm pleased to be joined here this morning by my editorial colleague, Mr. David Gordon, who's here to talk about his new book, The Fall of the House of Paisley. David, thanks very much for coming in to chat to BTTV.
Hi, Gary.
And tell us now, just how's the book's been out now for a couple of weeks, and what's the initial reaction been?
Very positive, very encouraged. It's on its second print run already, and the early feedback from the book stores and the figures are encouraging. Good sales, good strong sales. So it's very pleasing. I think the bigger picture, one of the main aims of the book was to kick off a bit of a debate about politics in Northern Ireland and where we are. And I think it's helped do that. It was to ask a question about, is this the best we can do at Stormont? And I think it is creating a bit of a debate and helping to do that. Other things are doing that too. I mean, this week the Belfast Telegraph run the opinion poll, which shows that public opinion on devolution so far is not massively enthusiastic. So I think it's all feeding into that. So that's I'm particularly pleased about.
And David, how long ago did you actually come up with the idea to actually write this book?
Well, it wasn't actually my idea in the first place. It came as a chance meeting at a book launch, Raymond McCord's book last year, and I bumped into someone from Gil Macmillan, Fergal Tobin, their publishing editor, and the idea came up in discussion with him, and so they gave a final approval in September 2008, and so between then and March of this year was when the heavy lifting was done on writing the thing. So it was a interesting period of doing the day job and then getting home and working on that at night.
And of course, you've covered a lot of big stories involving the Paisleys, and particularly, of course, a big exclusive on Ian Paisley Jr. So you must have had a lot of background stuff and to dwell on there and to put into the mix.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of the extension of that kind of work to put it all together and tell the story, how it happened. And so I was very keen to do that. And it was also to maybe answer some of the myth making that's going on about this massive Machiavellian plot against Ian Paisley Jr. or even both Paisleys, when in fact what it really was just journalists following the story and following the leads and putting in freedom of information requests, trying to get to the bottom of it. There was no plot whatsoever. It's just the way it happened.
And I mean, what was there anything that when you were doing your research into the book that surprised you, like things that you hadn't heard about them?
More so, the theme that came out a lot was just looking at what had happened to Ian Paisley Sr. I mean, I'd done a lot of stories about Ian Paisley Jr. and some on the wider DUP stuff, but just looking at what had happened to Paisley Sr. from the launch of devolution in 2007 and the praise from around the world for his power sharing deal and how it went wrong within the space of a year and how he was stepping down. I found that a fascinating study, and I was looking at that from the point of view of, I came to the conclusion that he didn't really sell the deal properly to his heartland and didn't explain why 40 years of saying no, 40 years of opposing power sharing and vowing to smash Sinn Féin, that suddenly turned into saying yes and into the Chucker Brothers routine. I think that explains a lot as to what happened to him and also more what's happened in politics here in the last few years.
And have you heard any feedback from the Paisleys themselves about the book?
Very limited to date. I mean, he has made one comment in another newspaper where he said that he didn't think it would sell very well and would be in bargain book stands by Christmas. And it looks like that prediction, which presumably was made as a joke, is going to be disproven. But no other feedback whatsoever. And I did contact them for the book to see if they want to be interviewed, but fairly predictably they didn't respond. So I'm not probably on their Christmas card list generally on that point, but I haven't heard any feedback. I'm not really expecting to at this stage.
But you thoroughly enjoyed all the research and all the work that went into it?
Yes, and I've enjoyed the experience. I'm not rushing back to do another one, certainly not, but I enjoyed the experience and I enjoyed the book launch experience as well, which was a very big night and a lot of colleagues from different journalistic organisations turned up. It was a really great night.
Great. Well, Davy, it's going very well at the minute and I wish it continued success, and thanks for coming in for a chat.
Thanks, Gary. Thank you very much.